Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush. With me, your host, Kris, a.k.a. Mini Wargaming Kris, a.k.a. The Name Butcher, a.k.a. all out of AKs. Way of the Brush, the most informed 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. Show usually devolves into a lot of painting talk and a lot of what's under the sun. So for new viewers, feel free to ask your questions. There are no dumb questions here, and feel free to ask whatever painting questions, whatever might be vexing you. I know there's always new people jumping into this hobby, and I'm of the opinion that there are no dumb questions. So feel free to ask. I always encourage it. And yeah, so of course, if you ask a question and myself, I don't get to it right away. Of course, the monkeys who join us every live episode, they're a clever sort of bunch of monkeys, and they will always offer up helpful suggestions, opinions, and knowledge, as they are just, it's a barrel of monkeys, really is what it is. And of course, speaking of the monkeys, who's joining us today? I can see Caw King 5555 painting terrain today. P.S. Way of the Brush episode 160. I don't want to dance the conga. Don't want to dance the conga. What? Arturo Patet conga. That's like 4th edition 40k. I missed those times. Knitfing. Hello everyone. Where are we? Arturo Patet, speaking of 8th edition, I love the true scale Marines, but the fluff around them seems a little weak. Yeah, well, you gotta sell those minis somehow. And, Space Marines are the poster child of 40k. And how do you revitalize interest in Space Marines? And in a new edition of 40k, you make new Space Marines. You up the scale. You do something different. And, of course, you offer new units. New Dreadnought, new tank. That tank, I don't know. The vote is out on that one. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool that it's only Primaris Marines that get it, apparently. But yeah, I mean, Primaris Marines, I mean, it's kind of cool. I'm glad that I love the fact that the guys are much bigger now. They're awesome. I love them. Space Marines, the new Space Marines, Primaris Marines, I love them. They're great. The bigger size, I mean, I've wanted that for so long, to have bigger Space Marines. Now we've got them. I'm happy. And I'll probably start a Primaris force in the near future at some point. Not really when I get bored of my Eldar, because my Eldar are my babies. And of course, now with the 8th edition out, coming out for pre-order, there's a lot of fun stuff coming. And yeah, so it's going to be fun. The rule set harkens back to younger days, and yeah, it's good. I enjoy it. I've already played a game, and I love it. It's fun. Who else is joining us today? The Gim, Nerf Eldar. Muhahaha. No, sorry, Jim, they're not nerfing Eldar. They're not. I can tell you right now, they're not. A couple things went up in points though, but yeah, otherwise no, they're not nerfed. They're probably worse. And in fact, after playing a game, there's a combo that might actually be kind of broken. I wouldn't say broken, but it's really, really weedy. Yeah, so Moosehead Painting. Hello, Monkeys and Kris. Hello, Tolo. Doosad Forge World content tables for the new indexes are out, and no GUO or Nurgle Dread listed, nor Orc Flak Gun. Correction. So, not do. Oh, so sad. Not do sad. Do sad. Clumsy Juggler. Hello, everybody. The Gim. Gomi, did you order your special edition 8th rulebook? $500 Canadian. Yeah, but that special edition book, there's a lot of crap in there. I don't know if it's $500 worth, but there's a lot of crap in there. A lot of, I mean, if it's got the signed prints and everything, I watched the video the other day about the collector's edition, whatever. Pretty cool, pretty cool. If you're a collector, it's worth collecting. King 555. This monkey's is sad day. Why is it sad day? Andy Clark, sad day indeed. Why? I don't understand. Why? What did I miss? What did I miss? I missed something. King 555. Work you internet tunny. What's a tunny? Grey Death Angel. Hello everybody. Strange how GW doesn't realize that it's June 3rd yet here in Minnesota. It is June 3rd yet. I'm confused now. I don't know what everybody's talking about. Clayton Tate. Let's do hobby stuff right. Meow. 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 Arturo Petit. No 1 hour of black screen. Feel weird now. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what the hell these people are talking about. Raziel, Icy Monkey, Soul Egger, 8th Hype Overload. Hey y'all. Hey Kris. Hey. 8th edition. I might as well just call this show the 8th edition show because I'm sure we're going to talk a lot of 8th edition. I've already played some games of it. Excuse me, I played a game of it. But I've, been reading the rules, reading the books. Fun. Moosehead painting, working on some Deathwatch today. Awesome. Twitchy Kranos. Hey, everybody. Coconut Man. I don't know if I've read that name before. Coconut Man. Welcome. Hello, Kris and Monkeys. First time watching live from Scotland. Looking forward to the show. And Windows, you can piss off. I don't want to do any updates. Kristen. Hello, peeps. Hey, how is everyone this Nurgle-loving day? New Nurgle Marines. Very lovely models. Very cool. Of course, they're big like the Primaris Marines. They're big. They're not like the old Nurgle Marines. Like, you'll put those guys next to old Nurgle Marines, and they're going to make them look puny. The new Nurgle Marines, awesome. Just like that big. Touch your screen. Touch your screen right now. Ow. Anyway, David Vaughn, hey monkeys, the Gim. This is Way the Brush is brought to you by Preparation H for rectal use only. Correctamundo. I'll have to send you some of those stickers, Jim. Oliver Pedersen, hey Kris, hey Oliver. Ghost of Starman Deluxe, building up Burning Prospero models, awesome. Alucard 869, good morning, hey Kris. I sent an email, my first email ever, to let you know if it will work the way I sent it. If not, I will resend. I'm sure it worked. I don't know. Now, hold on. Let me switch over here. You just sent it, or what was the name under? What was the name under? Hey, if you just sent it, I haven't received it yet. It's still in the interwebs. The interwebs. Anyway. Yeah, Arthur Patet. The Primaris tank is a flying horseshoe. It's a flying shoe. Yeah, it is a flying shoe. A horseshoe. I added the horseshoe, but it's a flying shoe. It is a little bit of a flying shoe. It looks like a big sneaker. Like, it looks like, like a shoe. That's about the best way to describe it. Is a flying shoe. Of course, it's armed to the teeth, and it's basically like the Primaris Razorback is really what it is. I'd imagine it's just for like the 5-man combat squad plus like a character or two, and hum that at the enemy. Hopefully it doesn't get to move too fast. That's really what it is. I know they posted the movement of it, and I don't recall what it is. It might be like 12 inches, which is not horrible, but like Eldar Wave Serpent, can haul ass, and the Dark Eldar can still haul ass too. So, yeah. Tolo, Gim, ya noob, Pep H can remove wrinkles too. It's an anti-inflammatory. Again, anything under the sun is what we're going to talk about. Dark Commission, hey Kris and everyone, hello. Vito Vano painting, holy cow. Finally made it to the live show. Hey everyone, hey Kris, hey Vito, that's fun to say, Vito. Sorry, Vito. Jim White. Kris played 40k. Yay. I actually played a game of 40k even before the edition is officially released. And I haven't played like in a year, so it was really nice. It was really nice squeezing in a game and having a lot of fun. And I enjoyed it. I like the way the rules work now. I like that they've removed a lot of the randomness out of the game. I do enjoy that. I thoroughly enjoy it. Excuse me. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool in my opinion. Xanderate. Small Eldar nerfs. Wild Riders were fast, I think. Yeah, Wild Riders went back to fast, but that doesn't matter now because your force organizations are not stuck to just the 2 HQ, 2 troop, stuff like that. You can take like a Vanguard, which is essentially elite compulsories. You can take Outriders, which are fast attack compulsories. Like the options are limitless as far if you're going for battle forged armies. You can take whatever army you want. And my first game, I took a Vanguard army, which is elite heavy, and you know what I mean. It was like an HQ and a couple of elites and some other stuff and transports, and off I went. And yeah, and it's perfectly legit. So I mean, you don't have to do. Even when you take other detachments and stuff, you don't even have to go like how we used to go with 1 HQ and 2 troops, and then if you want to take another detachment, it was another HQ and 2 troop. You don't have to do that anymore. You can just take HQ 2 troops, or any number of troops you want to take, and then take another detachment of the HQ and say elites, and just take a bunch of elites. It's entirely up to you. It's a lot of fun, and it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself with this new version of the game. And it feels almost old version because a lot of tricks we used to do in 4th edition are back. Like the ability to kill Necrons by just surrounding them so they can't reanimate is back. Transports, surrounding a transport, if you can't get out of the transport, you're dead. I used to love all that stuff, and so that stuff's back. Fear School. I'm here. Pre-order day. I know, pre-order day, man. It's fun. If you love your 40K, you're gonna enjoy this one. The rules are simplified, in a sense. They are, Age of Sigmar. If you've already been playing Age of Sigmar, these new rules will seem familiar. So, yeah. David Vaughn. All right. Sounds like we've been jumping into 40K for the first time. Those new Marines sound pretty cool. Excuse me. Yeah, new Marines. I like the new Marines, the Primaris Marines. They're cool. And yeah. Grey Death Angel, Arturo Patet. Yep, foot fetish. CW Kreiner. Anyway, while I base my skeletons, what do you suggest as a base coat for Hashut Copper? Similar. How do you do a black for Ironbreaker? Yes, yeah. Hashut Copper. Yeah, you can go with a black. You could go with a dark brown if you want. You can go with something like Dryad Bark or Mornfang. No, Rhinox Hide. You can go Rhinox Hide almost too, because Hashut Copper has a lot of reddy tones to it, so you can throw that right on top, and it'll give you an interesting look. I definitely would recommend thinning it down just a bit with medium and doing a couple thin layers just to get a nice solid. I mean, Hashut Copper, when it goes on, even in one coat, it kind of really gets it's deceptive how it looks in the jar and how you apply it. So be ready for that as well. But yeah. The Welsh bloke. Hello, everyone. Hello. Oyanbu. Yep, I'm not at work, sleeping, or in the pub, so I can finally catch a live show again. Oh, welcome. Arturo Patet, I'm so laggy, the poor man's curse. It could be me. I don't know. I'm not seeing any drop frames or anything. I am uploading at the normal rate. Could be the webcam. I don't know. Is my voice out of sync with my mouth? Just close your eyes and imagine I'm still not laggy. I don't know. Ever since I've had problems with the thing, everything on my end is fine. You might need to refresh. I don't know. Tolo, you're buffering bad, Kris. Well, nothing I can do about it. Raziel, I hope Kris gets to my email today. I will be getting your email today. Andrew McCall, good morning. Broshmaster, good morning, Andrew. Drewski. Great Death Angel. Okay, so from what I'm getting, I'm not the only one experiencing major buffering issues. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it's YouTube. I don't know. I can't say. I mean, I have no idea. I'm not seeing any errors on my end. Everything is as it normally is pre-crashes. But mind you, though, this camera is, it's not the usual camera. So, I mean, again, because we've lost that. I'm pretty sure it was my capture card that's died. And so I'm stuck with this little guy for the moment. But, hey, working on a solution. Don't worry. To get us back to our nice full HD quality kind of crap. Although I don't broadcast in HD. Well, it's 720, but I mean, you know what I mean. Vito, been working on 6K Raven Guard for 30K. Swinging down in mini wargaming in July for a couple days of gaming. Awesome. We'll also be bringing my 30K Thousand Suns. Awesome. That's awesome. Cool. Well, I'll see you in July. Guy Muir Alfear. Hey guys. Hi, Guy Muir, or AKA Carl, AKA the young, kind gentleman who does our intro music for email time. He was kind enough to donate some time and create something fun and people enjoy. Dark Commission. Kris, I sent a painting partner program request to Matt on Wednesday night and haven't heard anything yet. Is this normal or should I resend? No, because right now we don't have too many projects on the go at the moment. But as new stuff is getting released from Games Workshop, we probably will be getting some more stuff. And, so we might have orders to come up. I don't know. I can't say for certain. That's just speculation. I'm not privy to those details, so I could not tell you. So, I mean, if you want to try again. But from what I can tell right now, we are not sending out any commissions at the moment. Commissions have been coming in, but nothing's been really going out right at the moment. So, but again, like I said, with this new edition and new models coming out and stuff like that, I'm sure that we're going to be getting some orders done. So, keep trying. Cocking 555. The demon is not on the router, but YouTube. Could be YouTube. I have no idea. Clayton Tate, is the feed pausing for others? Yeah, I have no idea. No, because I mean, like I said, I'm not experiencing any errors here. I'm not seeing anything as far as errors are concerned. So I couldn't say. I mean, it's entirely possible it's on my end. It could be YouTube. I have no idea. Kevin Ledbeater, yes. Yeah, everybody's saying it's a buffering thing. I don't know what's going on. Hydropanos, howdy y'all, howdy. Andrew McCall, maybe Mini Wargaming is upping more 8th edition bat reps. No, they got all uploaded yesterday. We're ahead of the curve right now, so there's a bunch of stuff going to be coming out. So sit tight. More's on the way. There's a lot more coming. Jameson Half, I'm on the edge. I'm edge highlighting my Space Marines. My question is, how do I keep my paint wet longer on my brush? 2 ways. Well, a couple ways you can keep your paint wet longer. Not just so much on your brush, because I mean, like, if you're taking a long time, if your paint is drying on your brush while you're working, yeah, you might be taking too long to do that, right? So you want to take less paint and do, your edges. Work from a wet palette. That'll keep your paint wet longer while you're working, which will save you a ton of paint in the long run. And I mean, on my channel here, I have a video for how to make a wet palette for $4 US, $4, and it'll save you dollars upon dollars upon dollars upon dollars. So it's well worth the information. A wet palette, of course, you could also add retardant to your paint, and that will extend the working time of it. But there's a few cautionary things about that, because if you get a retardant additive, then that will make the paint wet for a really long time. Additive is more of an artist type of medium to add into paint. It basically makes the paint act like oil paint, which will take like a week to dry. Of course, there are retardant mediums. Now, you can find more of these, like companies like Vallejo, and I think Reaper sells a retardant. Minotaur sells a retardant with their paints. So anyway, a retardant medium is what you want. Especially if you're working with GW colors, you'll want a retardant medium. And I use Vallejo's retardant on my Citadel paints, and it's fine. Nothing happens. It doesn't like explode or, rapidly decay or anything like that. Change colors or, whatever, right? Nothing happens weird. It's acrylic paint. The only thing to bear in mind is with Vallejo's retardant, it's a bit thicker body. It's like a thicker body. It's almost like the same thickness as GW paint. So when you mix it into the GW paint, you're basically taking a thick body and then making them. And so what is happening is it actually kind of thins the paint out as far as pigment is concerned, but it doesn't thin the overall feeling of the paint. And so if you add like a thinning medium, like a Lamaine medium, which flows like water, that thins it way down and, makes it very thinner and more manageable like that. So again, a few things to be cautioned of. So, take care. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that answers your question. Tolo at Kris. Fix y'all interwebs, you have snotlings messing it up. Hey, couldn't tell you what it is. Jameson should I not thin my paint as much? By the way, I'm a new painter with less than a year painting. Should I not thin my paint as much? That all depends. I see what you're saying. Okay, I see. It's in connection with your edge highlighting. I see what you're saying. So if you find that you're thinning your paint too much and it's flowing and it's kind of like, it's almost acting more like water on the surface, then yes, you've over thinned it. Typically what I do to just to thin, especially if I'm using, say, edge colors, which are already kind of thin to begin with, I just dunk my brush in the water, give it a quick flick just to shake the excess water off, and whatever dampness remains in the bristles is what I use to thin the blob of paint on my palette. But if you want to get more life out of your paint, use a wet palette. You should be using a palette anyway, but use a wet palette. Andrew McCall, you still have a purty mouth, even with this camera, at Kris. A purty mouth. You sure do got a purty mouth. Arturo Patet, email time, anyone? Anyone? Bueller. Clayton Tate, it seems perfect now. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Like I said, I'm not getting any errors and nothing's jumping up saying, oh my God, Kris, abort. So, I mean, I couldn't tell you. Again, YouTube, internet, who knows? Maybe something's about to happen and the government's blacking out the internet, blocking out all the servers and causing lag, and you know what I mean? So like it's a blackout. They're causing a blackout. That's the conspiracy theorist talking there. That's some crazy crap, right? Anywho, Hydropanos streaming fine for me. Yeah, so I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Christine, I love paint retarders. I use Vallejo one, and they let me wet on wet blend like a boss. Yes, definitely. And if you're starting out, and you're kind of scared about the whole wet on wet blending techniques, or even feathering techniques as well too, get yourself some acrylic retardant. Make sure it's acrylic retardant, and make sure it's acrylic retardant medium. Okay, a medium, not an additive, a medium. And experiment. Start on something larger surface, like a Land Raider surface, like a tank, right? And blend that entire panel, like the little section of the panel, and just create a blend on it. Give that a try first, just so you get the feeling of how the paint flows when you're blending colors together and stuff, and just experiment that way. And then you can build up to painting smaller figures and doing shoulder pads and things like that. You'll be wet blending like a boss, like Kristen, in no time at all. Especially with retardant. And then after a while, you'll get used to how the color plays, that sometimes you won't even need the retardant. You can just quickly do it. Because the retardant, what ends up happening is once you start getting used to blending, you really don't need the retardant anymore, because really it's there just so that you get a feeling of how your brushstroke should be going when you're blending. And you find that after with the retardant, you find yourself waiting too long and getting impatient. It's like, oh man, I gotta wait now. I want to keep going here, but I gotta wait until this part is dry. And so when you get used to just thinning the color down just a bit and then doing a fast little wet blend, and that's how you really got a handle on wet blending, is when you can use no retardant and just do a quick little blend with 2 colors, wet on wet, and just do it, and then you go, wow, I like that. And then carry on, right? So keep going, keep practicing. That's very important, to keep practicing. You know how you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. Andy Clark, reboot. Use the Psyker to fix Time Warner's problems. Greenleaf terrain. Always thicken your paints. If your paint is too thin, thicken it. Add ketchup or mustard. Not relish. Relish is kind of chunky. But if you want to get a nice little texture on your bases, add relish. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Jameson Half at Kris. Last week I was talking about the Bobby G's model. I was actually talking about Reboot Gilliman. Damn autocorrect. Yeah, I got it. People were correcting me on that too. The Bobby G Reboot Gilliman. I didn't get it. I mean, I'm not hip like that. I'm not up with, internet lingo. I'm pretty slow. I'm from Canada and they think I'm slow, eh? The Gim. YouTube is messed up from all the live shows for the pre-order of 8th. The hype is real. Everybody aboard the hype train. Choo choo. Except Eldar players, they can just sit in front of the hype train. I'm sorry, Jim. Again, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna break it to you. I think Eldar are more powerful in this new edition because close combat is a real bitch. And Eldar under Yanari are so deadly. Raziel Wargamer. Email time. Email songs. Doobie doobie doo. Doobie doobie doo. I don't even know how to respond to that. But let's do it. Let's do the email. Let's do an email and let's spin that. email time. Email time. I still love that one. That's great. This is an email from Raziel Wargamer X, aka the guy that never shuts up. The guy that just can't keep his damn mouth shut. Been a long time since I emailed you. Just recently got back into following you and the mini wargaming over a year away from 40k. I'd become a competitive X-Wing player in the meantime. Oh, really? Which is still awesome, by the way, but now the promise of a new edition and GW's attitude shift has pulled me back. So I remembered I had a progress pics to show off, a couple finished commissions, and some work in progress of my own. See the attachments. First, I was asked to paint up a Forge World Karn the Bloody a long time ago now. Only recently finished it through my buddy was understanding. Used some airbrush to start, but finished up by hand. Second is the commission of a fire spray for X-Wing to be painted as Kath Scarlet's ship. This one is entirely by hand as I didn't own my airbrushes yet. I have a lot of X-Wing repaints, so expect more of that. Cool, very cool. I like X-Wing. Last is my personal Imperial Knight I'm currently working on to accompany my also new Blood Angels. Still work in progress and is mostly airbrush at this time, following House Hawk Shroud. Oof, that's hard to say. Colors strictly, and so not much room for improvising until I get to decals. Let me know what you think, and thanks. Sent by US Cellular. Anyway, here is his Karn the Bloody. Is that what he is? Karn the Bloody. And so, very nice work, Raziel. I like the blue. And he said he started this one off by airbrush and then finished by hand. I think that's what he said. Or was it entirely by hand? Oh man, he's missing his hand. Oh. Now, does he come this way? I don't know. Does Karn come this way, like with this model like chopped in bits like this? Either way, really nice. Nice solid white. I love the blue on here. Very cool. Let's have another look here. Oh yeah, look, he's got all the blood splatter on it. He's cutting his hand off. He's like, here, let me give you a hand. Very, very cool. Awesome stuff. Very dynamic. Of course, it's Forge World. I mean, like, they're very cool kits. Oh, look at this. Very cool. So it's okay. So Cal's Raider or whatever the heck it's called is like Slave One, like Boba Fett ship. Very, very cool. Okay, so what is this ship called then? What is this classification? You know what I mean? Like the Millennium Falcon is a YT. What is this classification of ship? Raziel, I know you're here. Don't ignore me. Don't ignore me. I like the canopy. That's really nice. And so you said you did this mostly by hand. Very good. Very nice. Oh yeah, I like the glow. I like that. Very, very nice. Holy man, look at this guy. And so this guy's going to accompany the Blood Angels. And this is his House Hawk Shroud. Very cool. Mostly airbrushed. Still nice and clean. Looks good. Oh, look at that. He's got a little bit of gemming going on in the lenses. Very cool. Nice and solid. But of course, this is still, I think, work in progress, I do believe. But it's all nice and clean. Big, fat Imperial Knights. I'm sorry, but, you know, the Wraith Knights still better. And then they wonder why people hate Eldar players, right? Awesome stuff, Raziel. Thank you for sending that in. And again, feel free to send me more. So, Raziel, what is it? It's a fire spray. That's what that. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, I get it. Okay, so Slave 1 is a modified fire spray. Gotcha. Okay, thanks. Thanks for sharing. Because I did not know. I did not know that ship was like, you know, because I mean, I guess I would assume it had a classification. Because I mean, like, there's probably more folk kind of running around with that kind of ship. But anyhow. Emperor's Champion. Evening, Kris. What's your thoughts on Eldar changes in the fluff following Gathering Storm? You worried about Craftworld becoming sort of obsolete? I was, but now I'm not. Because I've played a game with my Eldar under the new rules, and the idea of having, because they have the abbreviation for Craftworld in a unit's description, and it's very easy if once their codex comes out that there might be army specific kind of rules for, like, say, Samhan and Uthwi and Eltiok and Beltan and stuff like that, right? What kind of rule we can expect, I have not a clue. I can only assume maybe, for Samhan, if they're, going jet bike heavy, they might get, a reroll on their advance roll, or they can attack after advancing, kind of like how Harlequins can. Like Beltan, they might get some sort of reroll for the Aspect Warriors, things like that. Just something very kind of simple and very kind of low key, really, is what it is. But yet it's still quite, game changing. Because I mean, now the fact that some devices and some war gear options and stuff like that, and just some abilities of units, they have like a -1 to hit modifier. And that's kind of huge, because some units, they're straight up 4 to hit, some are 3 to hit. Taking that -1, that changes things dramatically for units like Space Marines, for example, who hit on 3s, and now suddenly you force them to hit on 4s. That wildly affects their abilities, so yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. You mark my words, kids. If you love your 40K and you've been playing for a long time and wanted kind of things to kind of get pulled back to kind of how they used to be, and you didn't really want all the random crap in the game, this is going to be your edition, because it's that. I mean, I personally don't like a lot of the randomness that was in the previous 2 editions of 40K. It really kind of deterred me. I hated random terrain, like you go into a forest and there's a magical effect in the forest and bang, you're hurt, and you know what I mean, like, boring. Give me, it's too random. You can't, like, it kind of killed it. And most of the time people didn't even play with it, and so, like, what was the point of having that in the game? Why have that as part of the game? So no, I'm glad I'm glad for all these new changes that are here now with this new edition. And again, it's very, very streamlined. Everything has got a profile like a regular kind of trooper. You know what I mean? Everything's got a movement, weapon skill, skill, attack, strength, whatever. Everything is a unit now. Everything, there's no real distinction between, infantry, monsters, and vehicles, right? There's really not a big distinction between the two as far as how they work mechanically. Everything's still the same, and so it's very, very cool. I like it. It simplifies things and yet still retains the tactical flexibility of things, and still relies upon you to come up with tactics for stuff, which I like. Again, it's a bit, I've made the comparison before, but it's a bit War Machine. It seems like Games Workshop has taken a lot of lessons from Privateer Press's War Machine, and they've implemented them into their paradigm, and to good effect, in my opinion. Like, if you're going to borrow something, borrow the good things, right? So, because I like War Machine. War Machine's a tight rule set, and this new rule set from 40K, it's a lot simpler, and it's equally as complex as well, because it's really about the unit interactions and synergies between units, kind of like War Machine. If you've never played War Machine and you're getting into this 40K, it's going to be a bit of a not a culture shock, but you will have some grasp into it. And this game is a new game. This is a new 40K. This is not like previous editions where there was minor tweaks to things. This is a whole new game. They've changed the game. But it's good. Take my word for it. It's good. The Gim. That voice is sexy. Shut up. Haldane Urbanus. Have to go, folks. Gonna miss the show as I have an errand to run. An errand? Okay. King 555. Wade the Brush. Episode 160. Doobie doobie doo. Aura XD. Or, I don't know, that's kind of face or something like that. I'm not really good. The Gim. See you, Capsulier? Huh? King 555. 30 minutes till the web cart opens on GW. You're just sitting there ready, right? You're just like, I'm getting my freaking box set. I'm getting 10. Lord of Midgets. Don't trust this man. He'll lick your brush and not wash it afterwards. Where are we? Matt Liguri made it. Better late than never. Well, you're only a little bit late. Just by a little bit. Not much. Where are we? Jameson Huff. Man, I don't think my wallet can handle X-Wing, Warhammer, and D&D. Are taking up my game budget. Yeah, and 40K, it's 40K takes up a lot of money. Like, I love the game, but yeah, I mean, the models are freaking pricey. You're charged a real premium on Games Workshop models, but the thing is, though, is like the level of detail they're producing in their plastic kits, is really, like only like Malifaux do you get that level of detail. But Malifaux plastic kits, they're really weird in their choices where they make cuts for things and where parts are going to glue into other, and really, really weird decisions there. I don't know what that is, but whereas Games Workshop, the models, especially with these new kits, the way they're catted, like, the head or the face is like part of the collar, which is part of the shoulder, which is part of the belt, and you know what I mean? And so like it all fits together. It's only one way is it going to fit together. It's very interesting. I assume they do it so that it deters casting or recasting, because there's no other reason to do that. You know what I mean? To have those kind of complex combinations like that. It's just to, mess with people copying their work, which, hey, it's fine. I mean, they got to protect their business too, right? So, but, I wish there was more optimization. Like the new Dark Imperium box, the Space Marines, I'm sorry to say, to break it to you, but the Space Marines are fit together one way. Each of those Marines are only one way to fit together. one or two Marines have an option where like an arm can be moved slightly or a head can be moved slightly, but that's it. You can't change leg poses. You can't change like how the torso is turned or anything like that. You're pretty much stuck with that pose. And same with the Plague Marines. The Plague Marines are the exact same thing. They're only going together one way. So a little warning for everybody there. But again, fantastic looking models. I mean, these things are awesome. So you won't be disappointed with your one pose. Where are we in the comments? Paul0132 at Kris. Are you playing in any mini wargaming 8th bat reps? Probably not likely. There's nothing on the horizon as far as playing any bat reps. Just because with this current release, I've got a whole bunch of 8th edition stuff to paint up right now. I was working on a nice 2-week buffer, but now I'm stuck with pretty much because essentially, everybody's going to want to know how to paint these Primaris Marines, which are just exactly the same as regular Marines, except they're bigger. So you're using just a hair more paint. That's about it. But otherwise, it's pretty much how we've been going lately. But it's fine. But where we're gonna have some real fun is when I do the Nurgle Marine. That's where we're gonna have some real fun, and maybe the zombies as well, or the Plague Duders. I can't remember what the hell they're called now. What are they called? I've got this stuff right behind me. Actually, I got one of the models. Like, right here. So anyway. So, that's how it's going to go. But I do believe I may be taking part in the review. When we get to the review portion of our coverage, I'll probably be chiming in on the Eldar side and probably the pro Eldar side. So be ready for that, because we're gonna have some discussion about Eldar in this new edition. Because I found one thing that can be viewed as breaking the game, I suppose, but not really. But it's going to bring the fromage back, I think, is what it is. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Mark Hill, hey guys. Hi, Mark. Raziel Wargamer at Jameson half X-Wing is far less expensive than 40k. Yeah, well, because you need less, and you get your models pre-painted. You can paint them again if you want, but otherwise, you don't have to do any work. It's straight up play. The Gim. My wallet is currently hiding in the closet. 8th edition web cart comes closer to opening. I'm going to be bad. Wow, just great death thing. Wow, just went outside and, well, no priming today. Too muggy. I guess more assembly of my Mark IV Angels of Absolution. Anyone have any suggestions where I can get some decals printed? Interesting. You know what? We went through a decal printer, didn't we? No, I printed them. Yeah, when we did the mini wargaming decals, I printed them on paper and did them the homemade method. But if you're looking to get like decals, because really when you want to outsource to another company, is really when you want to look for white decals, because that requires an emulsion printer that can print white. Because otherwise, you can create your own decals off your regular inkjet printer. There are a few tutorials out there on how to do to make your own decals. But if you are looking to create white decals, then yeah, you're gonna have to go to a third party for that, and because they have what's called an emulsion printer, and it prints white on those transfer sheets. That's how you get white decals. Anywho, Raziel Wargaming, I'm going to see if I can get some Citadel gloss washes, but I can still stream in my car. So, Alonzi? What the hell's Alonzi? What the hell are we talking about? Clumsy Juggler, have you seen the Monty Python and the Holy Grail mini that the Studio Miniatures just put out? They have all the knights, the Black Knight, the French Knights, and even a resin Trojan Rabbit. No, I didn't see those. That's kind of awesome, actually. Send me a link. Lord of Midgets Wargaming has changed since 3rd edition. It used to be complex base rules, then simple units, and now it's reversed. Simple base rules and complex units if you want them. And I think that's better. I think that's better. I think you kind of nailed it right on the head there, Lord of Midgets. Yeah, the rules were complex and the units were fairly simplified. And now that the core rules are mostly simplified, and the units themselves have many unit kind of combinations, special rules, and things that work in conjunction with other units. And I like that. And that is what's going to reinvigorate, I think, a lot of interest for 40K for a lot of people, and also bring the tactics back, and also change. Like basically, like I said, like this is a new game. This is a new game. And I mean, it's still the same players, it's still the same characters, but it's a whole new game. And I enjoyed it. I enjoy it. I like it. And I mean, I've been playing 40K since Rogue Trader, and this might be my favorite edition. I used to love 2nd edition, and when 3rd edition first came out, initially I was really enjoying it. Until a lot of the broken codex stuff and of course the codex creep just kind of ruined a lot of stuff. Really, that's really what kind of ruins a lot of people's nostalgia of the previous editions, was the codex creep. Even 2nd edition was really bad for that codex creep. But with this new edition, you immediately have the new books, the new rules, and you know what I mean? Everybody, and I'm talking like everybody is seeing changes. Like orcs are very playable right now. Tyranids are very playable. Grey Knights are going to be gross. Eldar are gross. Any form of Eldar, Dark, Harlequin, or Inari. Inari being really gross, but they're all the Eldar are gross. Necrons become very gross. Ooh, man. Space Marines, of course, are gross. Imperial Guard. I mean, all of it. All the armies are back up, and it feels like right now everything's on a level playing field, because there's some armies that have some really wicked kind of combos, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And what is really interesting is that, in my opinion, if this is the way this game's going to go, this is probably the best version of 40K that can be tournament played. That's a tournament game, because a lot of the randomness has been removed. And so this is going to make a very good tournament game, which is good in my opinion, because I mean, I like tournament play. Stream froze. Anybody else? If the stream freezes, just refresh. I do see that I did have a couple drop frames. But otherwise, everything seems to be carrying on normally. Where are we? I don't know. Great Death Angel at Kris. Unfortunately, I don't own a printer, so I need to outsource. Yeah, well, hey, you got to do what you got to do, right? But yeah, I was just kind of naming off some options for you. As far as outsourcing, who to go to, I couldn't tell you. But I'm sure if you Google, custom decals or custom water slide transfers, you'll find a retailer out there. Andrew McCall, we should pool together as a community and buy guys over at Mini Wargaming some man rompers. What the hell's a man romper? Do I want to know what a man romper is? I'm scared now. I'm scared. What's a man romper? Oh, I don't know. I'm not Googling it either, so don't even ask me to Google it, because I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not doing it. Don't ask. Not. Dwarf Lord. The Dwarf Lord ponders what innuendo will fill this week's video title. I don't know. Because we've been talking a lot of 8th edition 40K, because that's on everybody's brain right now. And it's on mine. I mean, I got to play a game of 40K, and it's been a long time for me, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. I liked how easily to grasp, and kind of just, I can do this, I can do that, I already know I can do this. This is, I know what I can't do. If I do this, I can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's all there. It's very, very good. Very, very good. Good. The game mini wargaming outfit should be like the minions, just work coveralls and really thick black goggles, no shirts. Okay, I'm a little bit concerned about that. Call King 555 at Kris. Way the Brush, episode 160. Is there a paint doctor? Is there a paint doctor, or is there a pain doctor? A pain boy? Is there a pain boy? Mad Cow Crazy. As a sister player, I am disappointed in the rules, but that was to be expected. Let's hope for a plastic release with good rules. Who knows? Mike Egan. Basically, a shirt shorts combined into one. That's a man romper is lace shirts? Wait, what? What? Lord of Midgets, episode 160. Kris has his man rompered. The Gim, man rompers look sexy. Aye. Soul Egger, Thousand Suns feel kind of bland. Previously, they had spell sling shenanigans, turning their opponents against themselves, drawing death beams across the field. Now they're just smiting gun dustbins. Yes, psychic powers for the moment are, very limited in their options. But this release and these books, these new indexes, these are just, it's kind of like when first edition or Rogue Trader went to second edition, and there was this little black book that had all the rules for all the armies, and it was really, really quick, and it lasted until your army got the codex. That's kind of like what's going on right now. And I think third edition did the same thing, where everybody got a quick little summary of their rules. And so, you didn't have to have the codex for this new version because the rule change. And so, you had this quick little index, like a little quick sheet. And so right now, everybody's armies, you basically got that treatment where everything is just kind of, everything's on a level playing field. And it's not until your codex comes out will you see some refining to those rules, I'm sure. So it's not like, Thousand Suns are obsolete. I mean, they've been toned to the same playing level as everybody else. Everybody right now, kind of like War Machine, everybody is overpowered. Like if you've played War Machine, everything is ridiculously overpowered. Casters are overpowered, units are overpowered, everything's overpowered. And so you have this steady creep of overpoweredness, and it creates a level playing field because everything is overpowered. And that's kind of what like 40K is right now. Everybody's kind of overpowered, and that's everybody though. Like nobody clearly is the loser here, at least upon initial inspection yet. Everybody's got something really, really gross up their sleeve, and that's great. That's awesome. So that makes every army very playable, which is great because again, it keeps more and more players into the game because everybody gets to play with their favorite flavor of 40K. So I think it's really awesome. Lord of Midgets, factions are all generic right now. Yeah, exactly. This is a full reset. We don't have the faction codexes yet. Exactly. These indexes are just to get us into this new edition and hold you over until your codex comes out. Your codex probably isn't going to be that different from what you're seeing in that index. It's just going to be a little bit fluffier and, some probably rule tweaks and probably some point value tweaks as well. Because, again, they're borrowing a lot of things from Age of Sigmar. So if you're kind of curious how this whole edition change is going to go, look to how they're doing it with Age of Sigmar. And that's going to be your indicator for how this is all going to play out. For the most part. The Gim, I'm happy with 8th edition, removing vehicle armory so I don't have to get good. I like it too. And you know what? The other part that I kept falling for was when I was moving my wave serpent around, I was like changing how it was facing, and that doesn't matter now. I mean, my tank can sit there and just spin freely on its base, and I don't have to worry about like which way the guns are pointing or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, because you used to get into some funny things, right? Because they said, like, for example, like flyers, they had like a fixed 45-degree angle for their guns. Well, that means that when the plane was like this and a 45-degree angle, that they could only shoot things like really like that far away, like, you know what I mean? Like the target had to be far away, or unless you modeled the plane so it could be, tilted and stuff. But that's not how they come. They come sitting horizontally, and so it's a bit of an abstraction to think how that plane was actually, attacking. But now the plane is just like everything else, it doesn't matter now because the rules are pretty free-flowing as far as how it works. And I like that. It makes for faster gameplay. And now the game is all about positioning. How you position, order of attack. Those are all things that matter now. And I like that. That's the way I like to play. I like outmaneuvering. I like positioning. And I like when, attacks fall into sequence. And you have to do this in order to benefit from this, and you know what I mean? I like those kind of things. That's what really kind of drew me into War Machine, was that it had that in its gameplay. Where are we? Twitchy Kranos, Way of the Brush, episode 160. I'm not Googling that. I like that one. That's a good one. I'm not Googling that. And I'm not saying that just because Twitchy Kranos is part of my Clash of Clans clan, but because he's funny. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Oops. I had to put that. Oh, son of a... I meant that. There we go. I'm not Googling that. There we go. Unless, of course, somebody comes up with even better and funnier line, then I'll change that. Make it a competition of sorts. Where are we? Matt Lagori. That's why I have painting off pants and shirts the same color. They look like they're wearing rompers and boots. Whoa. Oh, you hate painting orcs. Damn, you autocorrect. Okay, so you hate painting orcs because you don't like doing the shirt and pants the same color? Well, then don't do them the same color. Do them different colors. Do brown and khaki or something. Brown and red. Blue and red. Do them whatever colors you want. Then do like their boots black or dark brown, and you're laughing. Do the armor silver or dark metal or even black with, metal chips. Man, sky's the limit. Orcs, you can do anything you want with orcs. Unless, of course, with the Orc Codex, which would be great if they do, because everything's kind of like harkening back to, yesteryear kind of thing for 40K. And I would love to see, for orcs, I would love to see the return of the clans. I would love to see that. I would love to see Bad Moon clans, Evil Sons clans, you know what I mean? Snake Bites. I'd love to see all those old concepts come back. And mainly because I want to see it for Eldar as well. I want to see Samhan clan or, Craft World, Beltan. You know what I mean? I want to see those army-specific rules again. I mean, Space Marines have been steadily enjoying that for years, right? Dark Angels, Ultramarines, Space Wolves, Blood Angels. Those are all different flavors of the same damn army. But my Eldar are just lumped into one generic pile. I mean, give me a break. Metal Parsnip, episode 160. 2 girls, 1 man romper. Ugh. Blah. Knitfink, episode 160. It's been a long time for Kris, and he enjoyed it. I see what you did there. That was good. You got me. Implying that I don't play enough. Cocking 555. Way of the Brush, episode 160. My elves are speedy now. They are pretty speedy. Wave serpents for Eldar. Oh man, prepare to hate wave serpents. Prepare to hate them. I'm going to tell you right now. If you're playing by PowerPoint level, PowerPoint levels really are just this arbitrary number assigned to a unit. It doesn't really, it's for quick, friendly kind of quick play kind of stuff, to try out the rules, try out different things. It's not to be taken very seriously, really. When you're calculating the points, that's when you really want to, calculate these things. But I mean, wave serpents, because basically the way the rules are working right now for PowerPoints, basically all the options are available to the tank. So it could have, say, twin catapults, or it could have a cannon. It makes no distinction in PowerPoint level. It could be twin-linked or twin shuriken cannons or twin missile launchers. There's no change in its levels. It can have war gear options. No change in levels. That's PowerPoint levels, right? Versus when you take in the points cost, then that's when you're taking these things very seriously. And wave serpents, for their points, are really good. They go up a bit in points, And but the war gear options for them, the taking vectored engines, holy moly, is gross. It's a -1 to hit. You put Spirit Stones on the Wave Serpent, which is another cheap option as well. And every damage it takes on a 6, it's ignored. And that's including mortal wounds, which there's no saves against mortal wounds. There's no way to save against mortal wounds. Eldar have a few options for saving against mortal wounds. Basically, Ghost Helms protect against mortal wounds, and the Wave Serpent. It's a weapon or vehicle option for Eldar. Spirit Stones, they can save against mortal wounds. And of course the Wave Serpent, the shield, it takes off a point of damage taken. So if something does 1 damage, then it's going to do 1 damage. But if it does 2 damage, it's only going to do 1 damage. If it does 3 damage, it's only doing 2 damage, right? Which is awesome because it lessens how much damage this thing's taking. But the thing that I liked was that they nerfed that stupid shield it had. And I was never a big fan of that Wave Serpent shield with the ability to shoot with it. I was never a big fan of that. I thought that was a dumb concept that they added to that tank. Why? I have no idea. It was really, really dumb. It never needed it. I prefer something where it helped with like assaulting, because I mean, that's the way that tank was always described. It comes in and it has that field in front of it and plows people out of the way kind of thing, right? But instead they made it like a shooting attack that went really, really far, and so now with that shooting attack, you can only do it once in the battle, and that's it. And you lose the shield after using that attack. So, beware. But Wave Serpents are really, really good, and any Eldar players in your local meta are going to be spamming those things again, guaranteed. They're going to be spamming. Where are we? Aaron Siege, there he is. I need a new clan in Clash Clans. Join us, Mini Wargamers. Just look us up, Mini Wargamers. Mini Wargamers. You'll also find us in Clash Royale and Boom Beach. You'll find us as well, Mini Wargamers. Join us, Aaron. Just say it's me, Aaron. Wave the brush in the join message. Otherwise, we might ignore you, because especially if you got some crazy gamer handle. So, anyway, a la carte 869 email. Should we do an email? I think we should do an email. We probably should, because I don't know. I'm kind of lost in this whole chat right now. I've been gibby-gabbing too long. Excuse me. I'm getting hiccups or something. Email time. Email time. That's so much fun. Again, we can all thank Guy Muir Alfer, a.k.a. Carl. Fantastic job. Thank you again. I don't know how... I'm just going to thank him every time I do it, because, I mean, it's awesome. And it's great for laugh. And it makes me smile. And that's the important part. I don't care if you like it. It makes me smile. Sounds incredibly selfish, doesn't it? This is from Marin. Man, I don't even know how to pronounce that name. Moran? Anyway, he's got a painting question. Hi. In the attachments are some photos of my Magnus I would like your opinions on, and some constructive criticism. Should I do something more, or could I do something better? Thanks a lot, and keep up the great work. And so here is his Magnus. And I mean, really? My phone is ringing right now? No, go away. No, shut up. Quiet, you. Man. Anywho. Let's go back. So, here's his Magnus. Of course, we've already been kind of having a little peek at it. Sorry, it's a little distracted there with my phone going off. It usually doesn't. Usually people don't call me. Nobody wants to talk to me. I don't know why everybody was calling me. So, anywho, here's his Magnus. From here, I mean, it looks fantastic. I'm liking the colors. He's got it in a bunch of sub-assemblies, which is probably the way I would do it as well. I've not painted this model myself. I'm kind of surprised nobody's really bugged me about this model either. I kind of thought I was done doing beginning to ends, and so I was enjoying doing just quick tips again. But You know, I thought I was out, but they pulled me back in. So here we are with Magnus. I like the skin tones. I like the highlights and everything going on in there. He is colored essentially like how you see him on the box art, I do believe. And it looks like we got some glowage. Glowage? Yeah, we're going to just call it glowage from now on. Got some glowage on his hand and his eye. And in the eye, I like it. I think I would like to see a little hint more stronger blue on the outer edges. Where it's kind of recessed into a socket. I think a bit more blue there. Not too much, but just a hair. Just to really bring out that OSL in there. Because I think I kind of see it in the arms. The arms, it looks a little bit fuzzy on the arms. Now, I can't say for sure if that is OSL or if that's just the way he's done it. Because I could see some OSL coming, what looks like from his loincloth. Or maybe it's from the base. Hard to say. Or maybe it's just some sort of power supposed to be occurring maybe on the base, I guess. But either way, it looks really, really great. Oh, look at this shot. This is a really nice shot. I really, really like. I like the glow on the weapon. It's good. It looks like he went with metals and then came in, did his OSL on there. The wings are fantastic. I really don't have anything to say. I mean, it looks like the paint is applied nice and smooth. I mean, it looks like he went with an airbrush, and it looks like there's a bit of overspray on the feathers here, but it works in regards to that because it kind of creates a bit of a blend in there. You could have masked it off, say with like putty or something, and masked that off if you wanted to have a cleaner, harder edge. But I kind of like that fade in the wings. And if you were going to incorporate that kind of fade, I actually would have actually liked to seen it come just a little bit further out, so it looks more deliberate. That you deliberately wanted that faded color in there. But otherwise, I mean, that's fantastic. It looks great. And I know he's such a big model that he's a huge pain to deal with. Oh yeah, look at this. Yeah, it's such a cool looking model. No, buddy, I really don't have a whole lot. Just, I think the gold could be a little bit brighter. But again, it runs the risk of, becoming blending with the silver. I think the silver, the shade in the silver, you probably could have went with, say, Drakhoff Knight or something along those lines to shade the steel to give it a bit of a blue tinge. You could have also went with, say, a thinned out Gilliman blue and just gave it just a slight tint, either in the low points or the high points of the armor. That would have given you an interesting effect within the armor and also help create a bit more separation with the reds and such. Because right now, as the silver is just so bright, and it gets lost with the white, and the two kind of look identical at a distance, right? I mean, if you don't want to change it, feel free not to. I mean, it all still works out really, really great. Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more stronger blue in that OSL in the eyes, or around the eyes, not the white of the eye, but just around the eye there. And I think you've got something OSL going on that tattoo on his arm, I think. And it's just kind of hazy here in this shot, at least initially. And I think a little bit more attention could be spent there, just a little separation, because I'm pretty sure that's like a groove in the sculpting. But otherwise, that's awesome, man. That's fantastic work. Keep going. If you're happy with the model, that's all that matters. If this was a commission job for somebody, then you're going to blow their minds. Yeah. No, that's awesome stuff. Do I think this is competition type standard? I don't know if you're painting to that kind of standard. I think if you were painting it towards competition type goals, I'd like to see a bit more contrast in the metal, a little bit more attention in the metals and such. The flesh is great though. The flesh is like just the texture in the flesh is so fantastic. Like you got so much contrast going on the flesh and the wings, and like I feel like you were kind of gassed by the time you were doing the armor, that you were just kind of, I just want to finish this guy. Just tired of him. And, everybody runs into that danger. And so, but otherwise, awesome work. Thank you for sending that in. that was just fantastic. Thank you. Awesome. Keep going. Keep going. Where are we in the comments? Everybody ring, ring, ring. Yeah, was it one of you guys calling me? Dwarf Lord, was that Cookie Monster? No, that was me going, email time. It wasn't Cookie Monster. Although I used to have a Cookie Monster. Like pet. Puppet, not a pet. Anyway. Dimitri Abedin, so unprofessional, Kris. What did I do? What did I do? I must have did something. Or, the phone ringing? Was that what it was? The phone ringing? Yeah, kind of unprofessional. Hopefully it wasn't one of you guys trying to call me, trying to be a smartass. Great Death Angel at Kris. I have the same ringtone, so I thought my phone was going off. Yeah, everybody who's got an iPhone was like, is my phone? Is that your phone? Whose phone is it? Oh, man. Matt Cow Crazy. Herbert from Family Guy. I like that oil chest. Plasma Plays. Hey, Kris. Hey, Monkey. Sorry I'm late. My town had its annual pet parade today. Cool. A pet parade. So everybody just brings their pets? Man, you must have seen lots of dog fights. Might as well just call it the annual dog fight. Now, do people walk their cats, and if they walk their cats, are they on those little harnesses and everything? And they got like the cat just doesn't want to be there, just kind of getting dragged and stuff. Wargren, good morning, you beautiful people. Marcelo M. Despot. Hello, Kris and everyone. Hello. Lord of Midgets. Kris looks Magnus ass. What? Likes Magnus's ass even. With the buttocks? Sure, the buttocks. A well-painted buttocks is a thing of beauty. So you're looking forward to assembling and building my own Magnus. It's such a gorgeous model. Hope they give him back an epic anime-esque line drawing power, though. Who knows? I mean, like I said, like this new edition, this is just the to wet your whistle kind of thing and to get you into the game and get you into the current level of the game. The codexes will drop soon enough. The ones I'm really waiting for are the Forge World ones with the Mimera and the Corsairs and stuff like that. I want my Corsairs. I want all my Forge World. Like I've got my Vampire Hunter, right? I got my Vampire Hunter. I want to bring it in games. It'll probably have something ridiculous like probably 24 wounds or something like that. But you know what? I don't care. Aaron Seach, please tell me Pedro Cantor made it into 8th edition. You know what? I didn't see if Pedro was in the Space Marine book. I don't know if he is. And I don't have it on hand, so I cannot tell you for sure. But message me later. I'll have a quick peek if you really want me to look. Dimitri Abedin, Kris, what? You're an amazing Herbert impersonator. I just wish I could. I sometimes, without even trying, I'll whistle while I'm talking. I wish I could do it deliberately, but sometimes, when I talk and I end up just getting that whistle to occur, yeah, and then you sure got some muscly arms. I can't help it. Once you start channeling a voice, you kind of want to keep going with it. Mini Wargamer Josh, Pedro did make it in. Okay, there we go. So Aaron, Pedro did make it in. So we've got Pedro. Pedro made it. Vote for Pedro. Marcelo M. Despot, have you seen the limited edition book? It's so shiny and nice. Sadly, it costs too damn much. I know it is pretty pricey, but I watched the video on its unboxing that Games Workshop put out, and you get a lot of crap in there. Is it worth $500? That's very debatable, but You know, I mean, if you're a collector and you got $500 sitting around doing nothing for you, yeah, why not, right? So, but yeah. Lord of Midgets, a well-painted buttocks is a thing of beauty. Has to be the episode title. Oh, man. Magnus buttocks. Zinch bums. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Zinch bums. We got Nurgle bums and we got Zinch bums. Does that mean we're going to have corn bums? Corn bums. Corn bums sounds like something you get. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I was with this girl last week and all of a sudden ended up with corn bums. Oh, man, I don't know where I'm going with any of that. Anyway, Aaron Siege, Pedro for president. Pedro for president. Pedro for chapter master. Oh, he's already got the job. Right. So, yeah, Pedro for president. Excuse me. What time we at here? Quarter after. We got plenty of time. Let's do some more emails. Let's do some more. Put your headphones on or turn your volume down. Here it comes. Email time. It's email time. That's so much fun. Lord of Midgets, corn bum sounds like something farm girls experiment with. Oh, crap. This email is from Bleep Blop. Hey, Kris, just a couple pics. Hope the quality isn't awful. Ignore the background. Of some models I painted most of a while back for you to look at, how would you suggest I do the base on the Herald? Keep the show going. Praise be the monkey lord. Praise be. Are we like a Baptist church now? Praise be. Oh, I like that base. I like the little Necron heads. That is like it's like trophies. Ignore the background. Why? What's the wrong with the background? It's all flashy and mirrored and chrome. It's all shiny and chrome. Witness me. Anyway, sorry. Oh, she's kind of a goofy day today, I think. Anywho, I like it. I think you got to be careful of how much primer you're laying on the model or how much of a base coat you're laying on your model. The paint is looking a little bit heavy here, but again, you know, if you're relatively new to this, you know, I mean, you've kept your areas clean. You've gotten details. Looking at the red, some of the corners look a little soft, which kind of concerns me a little. Just that you might be like, I think it looked more like a primer layer, or it might have been the base coat. I'm thinking that you primed it black and you were trying to build this nice bright red and you put down a bazillion layers of red. That's what it looks like to me. So just be cautious of that. If you're gonna go with bright colors, what do I say? I say, if you want it bright, you prime it white. And so, again, but otherwise, nice clean job. You got the stones and stuff in there, and I mean, you know, it looks really good. I wish you had a picture of the backside. I'd like to see what you did, if you did anything back there. Kind of interesting. The glow on the plasma gun is pretty darn good. You know, even that, the little tiny little, you know, flayed flesh on the crotch shield here, I think is pretty darn cool. It's nice and tight. Again, you know, color, it looks like where color should be. It's just the thickness of your color concerns me a little. But again, that's probably because you primed it black and you're trying to build up a nice bright color. And so I would get out of the habit of always priming black. But, you know, to each his own. Of course, you could also, if you're going to go for this red, and instead of trying to take this color red and lay that many layers down, go with a darker color. Go with like Mephiston red, which is a base color, and use that first. And then if you want to have it like Evil Sun Scarlet bright, right? Then you can lay that on top of the Mephiston red, and it'll give you a nice solid red base that you can work from. And you would accomplish it in fewer coats rather than say taking like, because this looks like Evil Sun Scarlet to me, so I'm just going to say it's Evil Sun Scarlet, and taking that color and putting down, you know, 8-10 layers of it, trying to build a nice solid base color. So something to think of, be mindful of in the future. Here we go. Now he wants an idea. Ooh man, this guy's freaking scary. And ignore the background. Ignore the background. Why did he say ignore the background? Now I'm paying attention to the backgrounds now, and he's like, ignore the background. Ignore the man behind the curtain. And I like the little highlights on everybody. The nurgling in the horns or his back, whatever it is very comical. Nurglings, I love little nurglings. I want plush nurglings. Again, anybody making plush nurglings out there, please tell me you're making a plush nurgling. Send it to me, please. I need something to cuddle with at night. So the highlights and everything here look really, really great. The red, I think it looks really, really great. I think this entire model could benefit from like a gloss varnish. But of course, or matte varnish, but I think the guts really would benefit from a gloss, or even using, say, Blood for the Blood God, that technical, and doing that. Now, as far as the base is concerned, really doing the bases, like, it's really what kind of gaming surface you're going for. Like, do you play a lot on, green boards, brown boards, black boards, gray boards, like, what kind of environment? Or do you want to go with something kind of neutral? If you're going to go with something neutral, then you probably go with off grays and say like a dark, like say if you did the top here, like in a gray, and then did the rim in a darker gray, that would probably work. But if you're going for greens and you had like grass, or if you're using like the technicals, like the crackle one that gives you the cracked earth look, a darker brown, even green. I mean, I know people poo-poo on me for using green rims, but I like using green rim. I'm sorry, but I still do it. And you know what? It's because my whole army is still green rim. My entire army has a green rim on their base. And, people make fun of me, and it's not very nice. It hurts my feelings, actually. But, yeah, so thank you for sending that in. Awesome work. And again, when doing bases, it really... ask yourself, what am I doing this base for? Am I doing it for like a competition where I want to paint this to a really nice standard and have the base complement the model? Or am I doing it for gaming where, if you do a lot of home gaming and you have your own board at home, then do it to the way how you have your board set up. If you go to a gaming club and they have different boards going on, and you play on one more than the other, then go for that board. Or if you want something kind of neutral, then go with grays. Grays are a great way, because you can always have like a gray base and gray texture, and then maybe a tuft of grass and a big rock and dark gray rim, and that'll work on any table. Even snow tables with the gray will kind of will just look like a shadow under your model kind of thing with the white kind of snow. So it's really, you got to think about what is this base for? What am I doing this base for? Am I doing it for display? Am I doing it for gaming? And so thank you for the email, and hopefully that answers your question. Where am I? Kristen E., beware Magnus's eye of terror. His brown eye of terror. Metal parsnip, plague bums. Ooh, plague bum. Oh, I got the plague bum. I went to Mexico, had a whole bunch of tacos, and now I got the plague bum. Aaron Siege, episode 160. I'm not Googling corn bums. Dark Commission corn bums are made from soya. Lord of Midgets, oh dear. If you don't use enough lube, you get a case of the old corn bums. Man. Oh, I'd like to say it was too early for these kind of crap jokes, but no, we're about on track for Way in the Brush and busting out the dumb bum jokes. Tolo, monkey bums. Ooh, some monkey bums. Jim White, good painting. Thank you, Jim, for staying on topic. Good painting. Yes, I know that was some good painting. The Chaos Lord, again, like I mentioned, beware how many layers you're laying down, of course, or go with a darker color and then build up to that color if you're gonna stay with a black primer. Because there are benefits to using a black primer, being that, one, it makes doing zenithal highlighting, very easy. It's a very great way to start. Obviously, it's the best way to start, really. And of course, using a great black primer is also fun because you can build the color up from that black and, create a really nice contrast piece. Have you ever seen some really fantastic paint jobs where, the black, it goes like they're black in the shadows, but it's really bright high points? Really, really, really contrasty. That's the kind of stuff you can do when you prime in black. So again, I often like prime in white or gray. Gray is my favorite because sometimes white is just a little too bright under the lights, and it's like I can't see the details. Black, same kind of thing. I can't see the details, but gray, I can see the details. Or maybe it's just because I'm getting old. I don't know, but yeah, either way. A la carte 80s or 869. Kris, what you said about the Herald is what I did on mine in my email. LOL. I love how it turned out. Awesome. Oh man, Lord of Midgets. You're killing me, man. Green rim is best rim. Goblin green, flock, and then a dry brush. Yes, exactly. I was afraid to read that one at first, but then it was actually pretty good. I'm kind of like watching Lord of Midget's comments. It's like, oh no, what's he saying now? I'm like, I don't want to read it. No. The Gim, episode 160, stay on topic, and Eldar suck. Bring it, Jim. Bring it. Next time you come in, bring it. You want to throw down some Eldar? You want to get your Eldar hate on? You feeling strong, buddy? Bring it. Lord of Midgets, episode 160. Bum fun. Kris and E, as Zenithal base, we're seeing the details white on black. Oh, Zenith, I use Zenithal base for seeing the details white and black. Yeah, again, it helps. Really, but what you're doing when you add like the Zenithal white, to your black prime and you're throwing that white on top, you're actually creating a grayscale, right? So you can see the details. But if you just primed in gray, you get it kept down on the amount of prime that you're using, because like I said, like over priming is not good, and you can still see your details. So now personally, I use Vallejos, but Steinolrez, people go on and on and on. I have not used a lot of Steinolrez, so I've used a lot of Vallejo. A lot of people have lately been poo-pooing Vallejos black for some reason. I don't know why. I've never had a problem with it, and I've been using it for years, so I don't know. I don't know what people are doing. But anyway, Aaron Seach, it's amazing how one comment derails the entire show. Buckle up for the train wreck. Yeah, this train has no brakes. Lord of Midgets, that's pretty standard, Aaron. Kris can't stay on topic. He's either licking brushes or this. Aaron Seach, corn bums sounds like a Blood Bowl team. Actually does. Corn bums. No, that still sounds like something you get. It's like, Doc, I'm having a hard time here. I mean, you got like penicillin or something? Why? What's the matter? I think I've got corn bums. Lord of Midgets, I really like Vallejo Black. I'm hand painting it at the moment. Oh, okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Vallejo stuff and even the Stunrest stuff you can hand prime. Alucard 869. That's why I love the show. It's for the monkeys. This show is for the monkeys, and anybody who's like silently watching this train wreck. This show, of course, is always about you guys. I mean, I would not do this show if you guys didn't bother watching or didn't ask me any questions, didn't send me emails. So I always encourage everybody to always send me emails because I love it. I love seeing what you guys are doing, and also it allows me to see, because some of you longtime guys and girls, you send me emails of your work, and then, like a year later, you send me another email, and I can see the progression. And that makes me feel really, really good, because it kind of helps validate what I do. Not that I really need validation or anything like that, but it just kind of fills me. It warms my cockles to know that you guys are getting better because I'm having some sort of helping hand at it, and it warms my feels is what it does. Not my corn bum, not the Nurgle bum. the cockles. Maybe the sub-cockle region, but the cockles. Alex, huzzah! I finally caught a live show. Well, welcome, Alex. It's not my Alex, is it? My son's name is Alex. You're not Alex, are you? The Gim, this is just like a group of guys sitting around working on their minis, talking shit to each other, and the monkey lord Kris spurting out wisdom like the old guy on the bus. Lord of Midgets, that's not wisdom, Gim. No, that's when I bust out the Herbert. Some muscly arms you got there, Gim. Oh, man. Moosehead painting. Bums for the bum god. Oh, my lord. Alucard. Kris said it warms his what? I said it warms the feels, man. The feels. The feelings. The feels, right? It warms the feels. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy in the cockle region. My cockles get fuzzy and warm. And, you know, again, because, you know, it's you guys getting better, and it makes me feel proud, I guess, or pleased, or, you know, that I had some part in that. That's all I'm saying. Let's go back to the bums. Alex, it's not even my Alex. Just realized I'm on a fiance's account. She's watching too, so it's okay. Bob had Aaron. I imagine you'd be too technical, paint purplish, and then a layer dries, it cracks, and pink pus comes out dripping. Whoa, what? That's graphic, Bob. That's very graphic. All right, let's do another wrong mouse. Email. Yeah, let's do a jingle. Headphones. Email time. Email time. This is from Philippe. Yeah, Philippe. Or Phil, as it were. Hey, Kris. I've been watching the show for a while, and I like it. Well, thank you. It's nice that you move around between subject and the feel of it is great. Ooh, he likes the feel of it, and it feels great. I'm having a hard time getting constructive critiques of stuff that I paint. Recently started painting minis after a 10-year break. Oof. If you have a minute and feel like I could use, I could use your feedback on some of these things. Otherwise, still a big thank you for the show, Phil. And why do I get the feeling we've already looked at this? I think we did look at this already, didn't we? I'm sorry, Phil. I think we did talk about this in a previous episode. Because I was talking about a little bit more contrast in the gold, being careful of the shade wash, yes, and drilling out the barrels. And the Space Marine was really good freehand, like the highlights. Again, drilling out the barrels. Yeah, I do recall. Oh, nice painting on the eyes. Oh yeah, that's right. I loved the standard. The standard was awesome. Yeah, we did look at this, didn't we? We did. Okay, so again, let's admire Phil's work again, and then we'll jump to another email. Thank you for the email, Phil. Although I've probably already said that, so, again, thank you. Oh wait, you know what? There was another part to that email. There was another part to the email. I'm a dum-dum. Anyway, hey Kris, I was not able to watch the show live this Saturday. Thanks a lot for your feedback and the minis. This is highly appreciated. I will take this in and try stepping up my current skills. I would like to reach a point where I can take part in painting competitions. Cool. Feedback like the one you provided is priceless. Thank you. Well, thank you, Phil, and thank you for the email, and thank you for the response, Phil. Awesome stuff. Let's go quickly to another email. Because we can. Because why not? We need to get through some emails because we're starting to fall behind a little. So, this is from Derek. I know you hate email with links to other things, but the project of turning a 40k army into a legion force has been a big one. One, I would like to take a break into a bunch of emails, including a Facebook page, our pictures and details about the models. Thank you for your advice. Getting feedback has helped me through this big project. I have only 2 tactical vet squads and 1 heavy support left until I'm done with all the plastic models. Transfers and bases will be done last as one big batch. Keep up the good work, and thanks to all the monkeys. And so here is his Facebook link, I think, to his chapter. I don't know if he is a commission painting service or what. I'm just quickly scanning here just in case, anything kind of funny. And I don't see anything kind of funny. It's his Facebook. If you want to follow his if you want to like his thing, it's called the, what the hell is this called? Fifth chapter Raven Guard. That's what it is. I don't know why I can't see the full thing here. Can I see the full thing? No, I can't see the full thing here. Wait, maybe this will give me the full thing. Nope, that's not it. You're not getting the full page. Anywho, so yeah, feel free to like this if you want and follow along as he works through a bazillion of these models. And of course here he's showing us his work in progress of stuff. See, that's why I don't like clicking links, because I get these freaking advertisements. So very cool. Awesome stuff. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, nice oxidization. Heat treating? Is it heat treating or oxidization? I can never remember. Like when we do this effect on gun barrels that are overheated. Is it overheating? Is it oxidization? What is that? I can never remember what the hell that's called. Speedas. Nice. Very cool. Ooh, like that patterning on the Rhino. That's very cool. Very, very cool. Man, there's a ton here. There's a ton of stuff to go through. All looks really great. Hey, are those like forgeable shoulder pads, or did you sculpt that and put that on? That's really cool. Or do you buy forgeable kits like that? And I think this is some early work in progress stuff. Yeah, some early work in progress stuff. So, thank you for sending that in. Awesome stuff. Keep up the great work. And, feel free to send me more. I think really in the future, I think you only need to send me a couple pieces of, completed pieces that you're, particularly fond of. I think we'll try that one next time. Let's do another email, and this is from. Sorry, I'm trying to look for the button here. Oops, his damn email was in the shot. I hate that. Hate when I do that. This is from Rasmussen. Rasmussen. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, as usual, but oh well. Hi, Kris. I've recently started reading up on color theory, as it seems there's always something off with my color choices. I have decided to start with some monochromatic color schemes. I have done 2 models. The Inquisitor is an attempt on a realistic style with natural and faded colors. I am not too sure about the base. The idea was to keep it simple, but there are properly, too much green in it. The Terminator is in the cartoon area of things. The idea was to keep the colors bright to make the highlights prominent. The base is entirely complete. It still needs some water effect. Any critique or comments are most welcome. P.S. Now with pictures, because he initially sent the email and he forgot to attach pictures. So here's his Inquisitor, and he was saying the Inquisitor was more natural colors. I think it looks fine. I like it. I like the leather. The work on the leather is really good. The color, yeah, that's really good. I really don't see anything wrong here. I think really it is just making sure that you get the edges of stuff. Also, creating like better separation on stuff, like where that red and the tan are kind of meeting the brown. You know what I mean? Like and the parchment, right? Just coming in with a deeper color, just to help create a bit more separation. But otherwise, it looks good. Yeah. Going for more natural kind of looks, I think you could probably add, maybe a bit of rust to the arm, just to help with offset that orange in the hair, and create a little bit more visual interest in that, and it also, helps kind of sell the idea that he's really kind of old and, yeah. But otherwise, I like it. It's a good job. paint's where it should be. There's nothing, noticeably. The paint doesn't look like it's applied too heavily. No, it looks good. Yeah, I think a little bit of rust or something in the metal, just to help separate from the backpack and things like that. And it just kind of adds to the character, Now, okay, you say this is cartoony, but I like this style, and I like this nice bright color. I like it. I think I'd like to see a little bit more separation on the crux terminatus, just to help, define that better and, draw the eye to those details. Same thing with here, just clearly defining, or even doing that circular part of that design, doing that in a different color, or doing it like a metal, or, something along those lines. Otherwise, yeah, the base looks cool. I like that. I think the base is another thing that could use a bit of texturing, as far as like, say, rust and things like that. And of course, when you add the water effects in there, that'll look really, really sharp, look really, really scary. But otherwise, yeah, I like it. Yeah. And then of course, yeah, you see, going to throw some decals on them and stuff. Yeah. No, it looks good, man. Just I think just a few more things help separate some of those details and such, and help the viewer draw their eye to it. The black, it looks really cool. It looks like you were adding it looks like you were using like the turquoise technique to highlight your black, which is good because it's a great way to help distinguish the black from the red orange of the armor. Yeah. No, it looks good. Again, I think it's just, be careful how much primer you're laying down, especially if you're priming it in black, because you're trying to get these bright colors. And so, don't prime it in black. So, yeah, but a good job. Thank you for sending that in. And please send me more of, what you get done. Very, very cool. And the comments, where are we in these comments here? I have no idea. Let's say Welsh bloke. Hi, everyone. How's the show been? The show's been crap. You haven't been missing anything. It's been boring. The monkeys haven't been talking, and we haven't been being weirdos or anything in here, and so it's been a real boring show, really. Aaron Seach, it is oxidization when the metal gets hot and then cools back down. It's an oxidization. Okay. I see. I can never remember because oftentimes I see like it's a heat treating, or what's the other word? But oxidation works just for me, I guess. Oxidization, because it's oxygen, right? It's the heat interaction with the oxygen, and it changed that overall value because it's been heated. Overheat's another way. Yeah, I guess overheat would be another one. Alucard, yeah. Overheat. Derek Luderus. Personal page only, no painting service. Oh, okay, yeah. So your Facebook page. So yeah, feel free to like his page and what have you, and check out the rest of his gallery. I think Derek, when sending in emails, I don't think I need the whole Facebook, because I just don't want to, have to scramble through it. Send me, a couple of your favorite pieces. The pieces that you like. You're either troubled by, or you're really proud of, and, or you've won a competition for, or, anything along those lines, right? Anything is good. Metal Parsnip. Nice. Raven Guard. Oh, Shapeways. Oh, they're from Shapeways. Okay, cool. The Gim. I'm always felt that Kris should do painting tips in the Herbert voice. Hey, hopefully you found that quip tip informative and useful. Again, boo. He still has to do the Swedish Chef first, though. I do need to do the Swedish Chef, and I have been plotting something. So maybe I don't want to say like wait till Halloween, but it could very well be Halloween by the time I actually get around to doing it. So yeah, make a big thing of it. Maybe do a whole half-hour show just the Swedish Chef. Because I have a bunch of ideas that I'd like to do for it that And of course, as I discuss it with others kind of spit back other ideas at me, and it's like, oh, that's a good idea too. Oh yeah, you know, it'd be even funnier, and it would be hilarious to watch. So, the Welsh bloke. That sounds terrible, Kris. Thank God I'm here to make things better. Yes, thank God. Jeez, you know, I was saying to myself earlier, I was like, man, I wish there was a bloke here, a Welsh bloke, to help me out. Arturo Patet, weirdo. I'm offended, dear Kris. I prefer Mr. Head. In the gutter. I prefer Mr. Head in the gutter. Alex, Kris, any tips on painting belts? The next model I have to do, it has like 20, and the next model has 20 belts. Like 20, and I feel they're in an area that always falls flat, just like leather straps. Essentially, that's what belts are, right? I mean, they're leather straps. Often, typically, we're using dark or mid-tone browns, sometimes blacks. I mean, if you want to paint them in different colors, feel free. There's no reason why you couldn't. I guess really what it is what's the color scheme of the rest of the model, right? Because I mean, like if you have dark colors on there and you want to do the belt in white or red, or you know what I mean, you could do that, right? And you know, I mean, doing the belt, if you want it to look like aged kind of leather, you can still pretty much do that. The technique for doing leather, you can do that for any color, where you're basically just kind of catching your highlights and then just very, very thin little flicks of the brush to create these sharp little jags and things like that, and kind of gives the impression of kind of like worn and cut and, you know, scraped up leather. And you can do that pretty much in any color. Of course, you can always go with like desaturated colors. So if you wanted, for example, to go with white or red, you could always go with the desaturated version. Well, not desaturated white, but desaturated red, you know, and go for much more paler kind of tones. It still looks kind of red, but you know what I mean? It looks like aged leather, and so it looks worn out. And again, but it really depends upon what the rest of the model is going on, like what's going on with the rest of the model, right? So, Alex, hopefully that kind of helps. I have a few tips, not so much specifically on painting belts, but painting leather in the Mini Wargaming Vault. If you're a Vault member, if you're not a Vault member, you can always, you know, check it out for 7 days for free. You know, just type in leather or leather belts. I doubt leather belts will give you a return, but leather should. We have a video tag cloud that allows you to kind of see the main topics of things. Yeah, so hopefully that helps. I hope. Aaron Seach, screw that. I'm waiting for Swedish Chef and Bob Ross quick tips. Bob Ross. I was thinking of the Bob Ross one the other day because I was watching some Bob Ross the other day when my friend Tyler was over last weekend, and I was catching a bit of Bob Ross just to recenter. That's all I use Bob Ross for, is just to regain my chi kind of thing. Twitchy Kranos. Kris, any update on your canvas piece? No, it's still pretty much how we last saw it. I have not touched it. I haven't sat down to play with it at all yet. Just practice, projects and time, and just, you know, there's only so many places Kris can be at, and unfortunately, you know, when my family wants me, I'm there. So, you know, and of course with this new edition of 40K, I want to get some games in, because I'd like to, you know, start posting my own style of bat reps on the channel again. So, yeah, hopefully, I would like to. Alex, it's Allison Jake's War Machine model. She's got like 5 on each leg, several across the back and arms. It's ridiculous. Okay, yeah. So belts, Mornfang. Aaron's saying Mornfang brown for the base, and egg rex or shade, and then the highlight with Scrag brown. Good leather color. Yeah, that's excellent right there. That's simple, and it's fast, and you know, again, you can, and in fact, after the Skag brown, you can actually go so almost to like Ushabti bone as a final kind of just tiny little corner edge highlight, or to create the little, you know, little damage nicks if you want. But again, on War Machine model, and if the whole model kind of has like these belts wrapped around, yeah, you might want to keep it simpler rather than trying to get real fancy with it. And so yeah, that's an excellent suggestion by Aaron. In fact, those colors are perfect, really. Bob, well, it fits on a bum, so it'll have the Way the Brush approved label. Gim at Alex. Just Googles that. She does a load of belts. She does have a load of belts. Yeah. I haven't Googled. I'm not Googling that. Don't you know what the title of the show is? I'm not Googling that. I'm not Googling it. Whatever it is, not having any truck of it. Any truck with it. Let's do another email. Headphones. Email time. Email time. I just love how that one trails off with little monkey sounds. Anywho, this is email from Kristen. Anyway, just a pic of my Skaven Abrak, the great wise user of magics, as well as my Rodbringer sorcerer and Space Wolf tech priest. And so let's have a look at Kristen's work. And I'm already liking that staff. I'm seeing the fade in the staff there. That's really, really cool. I like the orb in the hand. It's nice and clean. I like that. I like the fade in the cloak and the weathering there. That's really, really nice. Yeah. I like it. Yes, sir. I like it. Yeah, I like the transition in the cloth and everything. It adds to that whole kind of Skaven-y, in the sewers, hiding in destitution type stuff. Little rat. Yeah, I like that staff. I like the transitions you got going on in the colors there and everything. And I like the orb. I like the nice bold colors versus the faded tones of the other stuff. I like that. Nah, that's really awesome. Plague Duder. Very cool. He is suitably gross. This one looks like he relied heavily on washes, like washing the main tones. Like he laid a bright tone and then shade washed it almost. Which is very nice. Very effective. I like the base. I like the broken up boards. That's really cool. Ooh, it's all plaguey. It's all plague. Gross. Yeah, this is really cool. Yeah, this looks like it's like you laid out white and then Carver crimsoned it. And then, did you highlight it at all? No, not really. But it's a quick, easy way to get it done. It's pretty effective. It yields a nice result. I like it. Did you make that goober? No? Very cool. A little bright in the icons there. I think a little bit of shadow in the eyes maybe, or a little bit more color, I think. But otherwise, really, really cool. Oh, here we go. Space Wolf. Nice. Like all the detail. Very cool. Got some freehanding of his little wolf icon on his knee. Nice. I likes. It's pretty straightforward. It's a Space Wolf Duder. Really good stuff. Thank you, Kristen, for sending this in. This is really awesome. I like it. It's nice and clean, straightforward. I liked your Nurgle piece actually. I actually really like that. That is very cool. It was a very straightforward kind of way of getting the job kind of done, and yet staying within the character of the piece, because when you lay just the base color down and then you just hit it with just that shade wash, that you get this really interesting kind of look, and it makes the cloth feel kind of aged and dirty and rotten, and you pretty much all you did was like just 2 layers, and yeah, it's very nice. Thank you for sending that in, man. Really great stuff. Where are we? Christian saying it's a watermelon is pretty common. We'll need to do some OSL or something eventually for him. That's not an orb, it's a watermelon. No, it's a damn orb. A watermelon. It was green and kind of had the off-green stripes. Yeah, I get it. Funny. Moosehead painting. Fine highlights of Cadian fleshstone over brown colors for worn leather belts. Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah, so Alex, that's another good idea right there. Alex, I painted tons of Signar army, and this one detail is a nightmare. Yeah, well, some of the models, right? Because and some of the older sculpts, yeah, they're really a nightmare because the scales are not quite all. Because a lot of the models are all hand sculpted, and so scales are oftentimes very tricky when you don't have that computer assisted ability to have everything scaled mathematically, essentially, right? What time are we at here? Holy carmolies! It's 6 minutes left of the show. What are we gonna do? Kristen E, thanks for reading. Thanks. Yes, well, thank you, Kristen, for sending that in. That's awesome stuff. And like I said, I mean, the Skaven duder, I love the fade and the cloth, really, really awesome. And I like that icon on his staff. I like the transitions you had going on there, and I like that your Nurgle Marine or Nurgle dude Marine, the Nurgle guy, he was a different painting style really from the other one. At least that's how it initially feels, and it was it feels like it has the feeling of being a fairly quick job, but it's a fairly effective job, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're doing just gaming pieces and getting a fast, effective, quick job done on the model that still conveys the character and still fits within the army. And that's very challenging to do all in 1 or 2 layers, right? So, no, I think that was an excellent job. And, of course, your Space Wolf, nice and clean. Space Wolves, I mean, like doing Space Marines, it has a tendency to being kind of paint by numbers kind of thing. But, it was still a good paint job regardless. And, yeah. So, but I mean, the Nurgle guy, he was probably the simplest paint job. You're probably going, really, Kris is going on about this thing? I mean, like, it was like this and this and that. And so, but no, I liked it. And it was, it fit well with the character. And because, I mean, like, I often have the stigma of, wanting to spend a lot of time on my own models, right? I mean, like recently I did my Wraith Lord and my Wraith Knight, and those were, a lot of time spent on those models, even though I did them by airbrush, but picking up the details, doing this and that, taking the time, and they're just gaming pieces. I'm playing with those models, and do you really need to spend that much time on game pieces? And no, you don't. You don't need to spend that much time on your gaming pieces, really. But if you want to have good looking, or if you're going to grand tournament type things, where you're going to be judged on your painting, then yeah, you do want to spend a bit more time on your models. But I mean, a good paint job on a model is a nice, clean, clear, smooth paint job. Nice and smooth. And unless, of course, it's Nurgle, then it's okay to kind of get a little bit messy. Or even Orcs, it's okay to get a little messy. But Space Marines, Eldar, you know what I mean? The tendency is to have nice, smooth, clean, defined edges and smooth surface and, all these things, right? And so it can be challenging at times. But, I like, departures from that as well. I like when people are just trying to solve solutions. That's what I like. I like when people are just using their brains and, it seems like taking shortcuts, but it's not. But it is, but it's not. And, they're finding more efficient ways to get their painting done. And I like that. I like it. I will applaud it every time. If it looks good. I mean, I don't want you just taking a number 2 brush and just, or a 2-inch fan brush and just hit the model with it and go, I'm done, because I mean, that's not what I'm talking about. The Welsh below. Kris, do you know if there are any noticeable difference in quality between Vallejo game and Model Air? No. There is no significant difference other than body. The thickness of the paint. Air tends to be a little bit thinner. Game is a little bit thicker. It flows is a little bit thicker. Not to say that you can't take game and put it in the airbrush and paint with it, because you can. You can use it straight out of the bottle and paint with it in an airbrush. So, but it tends to run a little bit thicker. That's about it. The colors still match up and everything like that. Any indiscrepancies in color matching and stuff like that is probably at the manufacturing level. Because there are times where, the color we would labeled, like bloody red. And you look at it, it's like, these two are not quite the same. And then you got to test them. And then when they dry, they're not quite the same. That's a manufacturing error, That's it's unavoidable at times. you just happen to get that bottle that was a little bit off. Alucard 869. Hope you guys like mine if it comes up. I'm nervous about showing everyone my models. I don't know if I got your email, Alucard. What was your email handle, or was it Alucard? Because I might not have gotten your email. Possibly. I don't know. Where was I? Was I there? Yeah, I was there. Excuse me. Where are we? Where am I? Hydropanos. Thanks for the stream, Kris. Helped to have something to listen to while I clean my house. Well, while you can clean my house, and I'll talk to you the entire time if you want. Just come to my house, do vacuuming, stuff like that, and I'll just talk to you. I'll tell you about this and that, and I'll tell you stories about days long gone and tales of woe. Oh man, what time we're at 2:00. I think we done. Oh, you know what? Reminder: next week there most likely will not be a Way of the Brush. That will be the 10th. Let me check my calendar here. Checking my calendar. Yeah, so the 10th is next Saturday. There will be no Way of the Brush, most likely. So watch a repeat or something like that. I'll put up a reminder throughout the week as well, just to remind everybody that there's not going to be a Way of the Brush this weekend, because I'm going to be doing a 40K tournament. That's the official release date of 8th edition 40K, and we're having an 8th edition 40K tournament. So, I don't know. But I'm sure everybody's going to be up on the rules, and so we're going to have some fun. We're going to play some 40K and have some fun. And I might try and film something. I think the store owner will probably have a live feed. So if that is the case, then I will probably retweet that live feed, and you can watch the tournament live. Kind of fun, no? So maybe no Way of the Brush, but you might be able to watch me get my ass handed to me over live internet streaming. Who knows, right? So, yeah. So next weekend, the 10th of January, 2017, it is like 99.999 certain that there will be no Way of the Brush that weekend, because I will be at a tournament in 40K, because Kris has got to get his 40K on. 40K on? 40K? I don't know. Oh, I'm getting tired. So if you have any questions, comments, or you want your piece critiqued, or you want a little bit of help with your color scheme, send an email to Kris@miniwargaming.com. Of course, you can join me on Facebook, Way of the Brush. Of course, wayofthebrush.com will also take you to the Facebook page, and you can join us and the monkeys there as well. And you can post your question if you don't feel like waiting. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter. I am posting, updates and things and notifications and stuff like that on there. So if you follow me on Twitter, you get notifications right away of things that could be happening, or if I'm posting anything in Project Mayhem as well. Project Mayhem. #Project Mayhem. So, not like I'm preparing an army of space monkeys or anything like that. But anyway, of course, Instagram, I post pictures, or at least I've been trying to post pictures on a regular basis of kind of work in progresses, what I'm working on, things of that nature. And so, excuse me. Man, I'm going to sneeze next. Yeah, so Instagram, Twitters, Facebook, email, Kris@miniwargaming. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Everybody had their headphones on. Probably headphones just went flying off their heads. That's it for the show. We'll end it on a loud bang and everybody all pissed off because the volume of the show just went through the roof. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you. And I will see you guys next time in episode 161. You know what? We should do a special episode when we hit 169. Right? Because, 69, dude. I'll see you guys later.